Welcome back, everybody. February 13th, 2019, 7:12 p.m. And we are looking at the mess of the U.S. that is today. It's been this way for a while. You can see this strip of moisture coming up that is fueling that counterclockwise spin and the snow we have received in the Northeast. We did wake up to some snow. Not as much as we anticipated, though, but we got something else brewing, and that has to do with California. And those of you that live in California, you know that you pretty much have all four seasons going on at the exact same time. The Into family, our hashtag we use to share pictures and videos, has been blowing up online lately. So I have some subscribers submission videos and pictures to show you guys, some from California, some from other places. But first, just take a look at some of these shapes and just the moisture alone. Obviously, wherever you see the green, that is moisture moving in, and then the red is more intense moisture, and then we got the dark colors, the purples and blues for our cold. The Great Lakes frozen solid right now. In fact, if we look at the temperature chart, just look at this line right here. You don't really see straight lines in nature. I'm sure a lot of you have heard that term before. This is almost a straight line of temperature changing. We're talking a 20-degree temperature jump in about a 20-mile area here, which is pretty rare. You do see it, but not too often. But if you take a look at this area right here, you can see how the moisture kind of changes right in this area. If you draw a straight line up from the border of Texas up into that strip of Oklahoma right here, and then we got Kansas and Colorado, and that's kind of where that line is right there. And if you match it with the temperature chart, you can kind of get an idea of why that is changing over so dramatically, and that's because of a dramatic temperature change. Like I said, these straight lines are rarely seen, but they do happen. It's a mix of the atmospheric conditions and the different high pressures and low pressures, and sometimes you get these weird-looking anomalies, and that in turn affects the weather, which is why we are seeing most of North Carolina, or California, I'm so sorry, I always say that, under snow, and especially the Sierra Nevada. Now, I have some cool pictures that were sent in of the mountains, actually. I'm going to get to those now, and to the other submissions we've had through the hashtag Into Family. So let's get to those real quick. All right, and this awesome shot here that we used in the thumbnail was sent in by Sylvia Liberian, and this is in California, guys. You can see here this is a very, very good lenticular cloud. Now, these clouds are often still standing, which means they kind of stay in the same spot. A lot of times you'll see them around mountains. I'm assuming this cloud may have formed or either is forming based off of the wind currents going around this mountain here. I could be wrong, only because I wasn't in this setting to see exactly what's in the surrounding areas, but you will see these clouds a lot. They often look like UFOs, and they'll sit over a mountain for hours and hours sometimes before they either dissipate or they'll start moving away, which this one could be. There was another picture with this, it was a little blurry, but you could tell they were a little farther back, and then this one's up close to this sign, so you could tell they were moving down this road, but the cloud had absolutely stayed right in its spot. So this shot is awesome. This is the type of stuff we love here on the channel to see. Great shot, Sylvia, and whoever else was with you when you took this picture. Thank you so much. This is awesome. And just to verify real quick, lenticular clouds, they are stationary clouds that form in the troposphere. That's fairly high up. You can get the distance right around here, 1,200 meters up to 40,000 feet, basically, is where you're going to see these start and go higher. So you can see the mountains in the back here. I pulled up the ones I'm allowed to use, and you kind of get just these two without permission. So again, thank you for those pictures, but you can kind of see a similar trait to these, and then the mountains in the background. You don't really see a mountain here, as you don't need mountains for these clouds to form. A lot of it has to do with different directional airflows and stuff of that nature, but the end result is incredible. You get these really, really cool looking clouds, especially with that blue sky in the background. This one did have that. I did a little bit of touching up on this picture. As you can see, this is the original version here. And then we get to this once you bring out some of the colors. So definitely a great shot. And once again, thank you. All right, and also thank you, Hilda D1 at Hilder Belter. That is on Twitter. This was yesterday sent to us, tagged to the Into Thin Air family. These are shots of the Sierra Nevada mountains from afar, guys. So these green shots here, the ones from the grass are actually being shot. They're looking northeast from Earlmart, California. I actually know where that is. I used to live in Southern California near Simi Valley. So I am somewhat aware of these areas in California. But to hear about the snow is just unbelievable. Here's another one they sent in. This one is actually looking east from Delano. All right, so thank you again, Hilder Belter on Twitter for these pictures, especially this one. I love this one. You got the oil rig in the back, it looks like. And then you got the Sierra Nevadas in the foreground there. Really cool shot. And this is from afar. It looks nice and warm over here, doesn't it? But no, there's snow all over California right now. And now let's take a look at why. So we had one round that came yesterday and the day before, still continuing today. We could see the low pressure is now beginning to make its way over Montana and Wyoming right now. Now, we have to remember this is a little bit into the future because this was the past set of data, the 12-hour. If we go to the 18-hour, you're going to see this bump forward a little bit only because that's their estimate of where it will be at that time. So we'll switch to the newest set of data, which actually puts the low over Colorado. I believe that to be true. That is what's going to happen. The lows always tend to drop when they are over the Dakotas. It does like a sudden drop, and then it kind of gets whipped up into the northeast, if that's the way the jet stream wants it to go. But to stay on topic here, we can clearly see the Sierra Nevada mountains here. Mount Shasta is up in this area here. In fact, we could look at it right now on Google Earth to get an idea. Most of the snow fell in Northern California, basically from the Campfire. Even areas near Sacramento got some snow. From Sacramento north, this very much includes Mount Shasta. As you can see in this picture, this was a highway camera taken earlier today. This was I-5, and then Highway 89, I believe, is in the cross here under this red line. Clearly, you could see the snow on the ground, the need for plows and salt and stuff in California. It's just not something you hear about all the time. As you get closer to the mountains, yes, it's more of a common thing, but this was a big storm, guys, and there's an even bigger one coming, and that's what I want to show you now, and that's what I want to focus on is what's coming now. So we have this one set of moisture that already came and went over the mountains. You can see them highlighted every time a low pressure system comes in and starts to swirl into California. We see these mountains light up. That's because they are sticking out of the ground. They catch the weather first, at least in the higher altitudes, and we're getting some crazy snow there. We remember that chart we showed where there's over 300 inches of snowpack already on the Sierra Nevadas, at least in parts of it. But if we look into the future, the very near future, as in this Thursday, tomorrow night, we're going to get a big blast of moisture. You can see as I go back and forth here, boom. You can see that, and you can see the mountains just get lit up, and then Southern California, this is you on alert right now. This area of Southern California that includes LA County, Ventura County, Thousand Oaks, all those areas. This is where I used to live, the Simi Valley area. All these areas here are going to see some severe weather. Snow, I doubt. The snow, might want to cut California right in half. If you're going to see snow, it's going to be the northern half. Mount Shasta, of course, will get hit again with this. More than likely snow, being that the estimated temperatures at night are going to be in the 30s, and that goes all the way down into LA County with those temperatures. So, I mean, it's basically a coin toss, guys. I wish I could give you an accurate forecast on what to expect in California, but when you see moisture explosions like this, like almost like hurricanes, these are hitting as if they are hurricanes. And we just had this situation play out in Hawaii where a storm that was not a named storm, it wasn't a hurricane, hit the top area of the islands and actually hit Category 5 speed winds. So that is something you just do not see in weather that often. So with all these different things happening at once, and then to see what it's doing to the West Coast, it just makes you wonder, like, what's next? You know, so we're seeing this second round hit, and then immediately you see the Sierra Nevadas turn blue. That is just straight up snow, and then you see the top half of California here by Friday is covered in snow. So all this moisture is actually warmer as it's out in the Pacific Ocean, and the second it gets inland, that dip in the jet stream is turning it all to snow. And that's exactly what we're seeing here for a second round. So once again, here was the first round, and now we're going to get this right there. It literally looks like an explosion over California. It's going to come up into the Midwest areas. We're talking Montana, Wyoming, Colorado, and then just like this one did, it's going to kind of dip down, and then it's going to ride the jet stream. So in the coming days, we're going to be able to figure out exactly what it's going to do here. It doesn't look like it's going to be a huge deal for the Northeast. In fact, the Northeast has other things to worry about, and what I mean by that is more of a direct hit from the central areas of Canada down over Minnesota and the Great Lakes, as opposed to these storms coming from the Baja region or beginning in Washington and Oregon and then running all the way across the U.S. We're now starting to see systems come right down over top of the Great Lakes from Canada. That is due to the polar vortex we dealt with a couple weeks ago. It's due to the pole shift. It's due to the El Nino. It's all these things put together that are causing these ridiculous weather situations we are going through. And I almost forgot, it's not just snow we're dealing with in California, it's the soggy ground, and we got a clear-cut shot of that here, thanks to Weather Nation's Twitter account. This picture of a tree that fell on someone's garage or their neighbor's house. The ground is very unstable in the warmer areas of California, and then you got parts of California that are under snow. So like I said, you're seeing basically all 4 seasons at once. Especially when you get stuff like this, guys, these weird temperature changes and drops and all this stuff. It's just it's almost impossible to predict a weather forecast when you're dealing with these types of different things happening all at once. You know, there's almost not words to put into it to explain it, if that makes any sense. But this is what we're at, guys. We got a lot going on in the west right now. It's going to make its way to the east. We'll be talking about that as it comes. Before I let you guys go, last thing, I promise, I know it's a long video. Between now and the 18th, this is the snow expected to be on the ground. Again, this is spread out between now and the 18th. But there you go. The Sierra Nevada is completely covered in red. That is anywhere from 18 to 20 inches over the next 4 or 5 days. We got many other places in the west that are covered in that red. And then you see as it tapers off into the northeast, it's actually the west that is getting more snow than the northeast in the middle of winter right now. We're right in the dead center of February, basically. Finally, I want you guys to say hi to a friend of mine. This kid is great. I love this kid. He made us a video, and it's only right for me to play it because he put time and effort into it for us, so we're going to show it, guys. Here we go. This is The Weather Boss on YouTube.
Now, I knew this was coming from Into Thin Air. That's why I named it hashtag Into Thin Air. Oh my gosh. Hashtag Into Thin Air. But, yeah, basically, it snowed. A lot more than I expected.
Basically, when I was in school at around he couldn't even see
9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. No, like 8 to 9 o'clock. It was snowing like really hard. Like I could barely keep up with what was happening outside.
There's
a bunch of projects like I can see one right over.
All right, guys, and again, that is the Weather Boss underscore YouTube, I believe. You could find him in my subs channel, and I'll post his link in the video description box as well. And to the other subs that submitted pictures and videos, thank you guys so much. If you ever want to submit videos and or pictures to us, you can hashtag them on Twitter or Instagram using hashtag #IntoFamily. That is IN, the number 2, and then the word family, just like Into Thin Air. But this is what we're dealing with right now, guys, and it's not going to change anytime soon. If I'm not back tonight with an update, I will be back tomorrow afternoon for sure. Look at the swirl over the Great Lakes. Ay caramba. All right, guys, have a good rest of your evening. Stay safe, stay warm, stay dry, stay whatever you have to do, especially in California. All right, guys, that's enough. Take care. Have a good one. Bye-bye.